Alberta MP Damien Kurek is stepping down for Pierre Poilievre to run in a by-election. That's right, guys. Pierre Poilievre is moving to rural Alberta. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Jonny Says So, episode 41. And tonight, we're going to be talking about Pierre Poilievre's potential comeback. Now, after the results of the election, many were left wondering what the future of the Conservative Party holds, and specifically, what Pierre Poilievre's role in it is going to be, if any. After all, not only did he fail to bring the Conservative Party to a majority or even a minority, he lost his seat in his longtime riding of Carleton. Now, the manner in which Pierre Poilievre lost his riding to begin with is sort of sketchy, and you're not going to hear it from him because any mention of this by Poilievre himself, the media will tear him apart for somehow denying the election results. But the rest of us with, a functioning brain can look at stuff like this and ask questions about it. So this, of course, is the longest ballot initiative. This is actually Pierre Poilievre's ballot in Carleton, and it is just cartoonishly long. The thing's a meter long, and it has 91 names on it. And the stated goal of the longest ballot initiative is to protest first past the post electoral system. But I mean, it's kind of interesting that they chose Pierre Poilievre's riding for this, isn't it? And not only that, guys, but you have obvious gerrymandering in the district itself. Look at this. So a lot of people might not realize, but the riding of Carleton was redrawn after the last federal election to include the Liberal stronghold of Canada. That's another interesting little tidbit. And, you don't hear about this stuff much in Canada. This is more of like an American phenomenon. You hear the term all the time, gerrymandering. And it's usually the Republicans that are accused of doing this. But, yeah, just kind of interesting. We have a district that is, well, it looks like a trick the Republicans would play, doesn't it? Anyway, let's check in with Pierre Poilievre's official announcement on Twitter today. It is with humility and appreciation that I have accepted Damien Kurek's offer to resign his seat in Battle River Crowfoot so that I can work to earn the support of citizens here to serve them in Parliament. Damian's selfless acts to step aside temporarily as a Member of Parliament shows his commitment to change and restoring Canada's promise. I will work to earn the trust of the good people of Battle River Crowfoot, and I will continue to hold the Liberal minority government to account until the next federal election when we will bring real change to all Canadians. This is a pretty interesting statement. My big thing with this, though, is I certainly, while I would like to see another opportunity to go to the polls, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I think for better or for worse, we're going to be stuck with Carney for a little bit. The Bloc Québécois has already stated that they're going to work with Carney for at least a year. So I believe it was Marty up north who has said this repeatedly, but the best strategy here, unfortunately, is to let him talk. Let Carney talk. It's going to take a little bit of time, but those boomers that voted for him in fear of Donald Trump are pretty soon going to realize the error of their ways. Damian also put this out on his Twitter today. Full text of the announcement today. Pierre Poilievre is the right guy for the job. Let's get him a seat in Parliament so we can restore the promise of Canada. Battle River Crowfoot will be well served by him, and I promise to stay in the fight going forward. I'm starting to wonder how he's going to stay in the fight, but anyway, kudos to him. And a lot of people are saying that he was less than a year away from receiving his parliamentary pension, which is, Pierre Poilievre did say that it's selfless, and I tend to agree with that, guys. I think that's very selfless. He could lose that. And compare and contrast that with Jagmeet Singh, who burned his own party to the ground to collect his pension. I'm seeing quite the difference there. So, City News put this story out about it, so let's check that out.
We need more representation out here.
Federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is hoping that this can be his new riding in the heart of rural Alberta after the MP for Battle River Crowfoot, Damien Kurek, announced his intentions to step aside so that Poilievre can run here.
No. Oh, no.
I think that's a nice move. I think it's good.
The Conservative leader was left without a seat after losing in the riding of Carleton, a seat he held since 2004. The Conservative Party confirming he will run in the Battle River Crowfoot riding once a by-election is called. The riding stretches from southeast of Edmonton to northeast of Calgary all the way to the Saskatchewan border.
That is a massive stretch of land. Now, I'm sure the population isn't huge, but I really do think that this would be a good riding for him to represent. You know, Pierre Poilievre has always been a champion of the farmers and, the industrial workers and like real blue-collar Canadians that that have been screwed over by the Laurentian elites. It'll be interesting to see if they'll trust him, though. Something tells me that they will. I think this is a pretty safe riding for him to run in. I believe it was, Kurek has got 80%, I do believe. So I think this will be a safe move for him. It's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out.
Its primary industry is agriculture and has historically been a Conservative stronghold, with Kurek winning his seat with more than 80% of the vote.
Definitely going to hate to see him leave. There's no doubt about that, but he'll pop up somewhere. We need a change. We need a drastic change in the country for sure. So
Sad to see him go, but it'll be great to have the leader of the Conservatives here in Drumheller's constituency. So
I have nothing against it.
Yeah.
I really don't, yeah.
Others feel Poilievre isn't a good fit.
He's a career politician that has done nothing, has earned nothing.
Wrong choice. He is not a local. He knows nothing. What's he going to come and do down here?
Alberta Premier.
While I think that getting Pierre Poilievre a seat in the House of Commons is important, which I will get into in a moment, honestly, guys, I can't be mad at that lady's take. I don't agree with her reasoning behind it, but me personally, I'd be outraged if Mark Carney decided to just drop into my riding. So looking at it objectively, I get it.
Premier Danielle Smith calling it a beautiful homecoming moment, thanking Kurek for stepping aside to help foster Canada's Conservative movement. Just before Kurek's announcement Friday morning, Prime Minister Mark Carney had said he would call a by-election as soon as possible once the Conservatives have a member resign their seat so that Poilievre can run. In Drumheller, Jillian Code, City News.
So it's becoming very clear that Pierre Poilievre has no intention to step down. And some people might be scratching their heads at this. They're mostly liberals, by the way. I think anybody that voted Conservative is all in on Pierre Poilievre. And, you've got your provincial progressive Conservatives like Doug Ford and Tim Houston that are, very publicly asking the Conservative Party to do some soul searching. But the fact remains that the Conservative Party of Canada, under Pierre Poilievre, has gotten their largest share of the popular vote since 1988. And although they lost the election, guys, that is not nothing. And it's also interesting the younger demographic that came out to support Pierre Poilievre as well. That old adage of, how does the saying go? If you're not a liberal when you're young, you don't have a heart. If you're not a conservative when you're old, you don't have a brain. And that has just been completely flipped on its head, hasn't it? Because we've seen the baby boomers they are responsible for Mark Carney winning the election. The voter turnout for the younger generation was good, but it wasn't as good as it could be. And everybody under 55 overwhelmingly supported the Conservatives, and the baby boomers supported the Liberals. It's kind of interesting. It's not how it historically goes. And that's my show for tonight, guys. Now, I'd love to turn it over to you folks in the comments now. What do you make of Pierre Poilievre's move to get a seat in rural Alberta? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's going to play out well for him? And if not, who do you think possibly in the Conservative Party of Canada would be better suited to take the lead. And as always, if you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.